So, my previous video that I was posting now is, I left out the topic of hierarchy, in terms of, I did mention that if you've been told to do something and to study a topic, then you need to learn to study that topic. Especially if you have, a reincarnated title, if you have a ready fan club, if you have funding, if you have the king's favor on that. He tells you to study something, you do it. He sent me to learn Arabic in Bloomington, Indiana, and I mean, if you know anything about this town, it's not been fun. So it was a pretty terrifying 5 or 6 years, and then afterwards, no real joy in my life for a long time. He is, I'm talking about the previous king who's wandering around, could walk up on anybody at any given moment. And if you are not using your circumstances of hierarchy, that meeting is not going to go very well. And he won't always tell you it didn't go well, and you might not understand why you are no longer in the country. He is a different person in Bhutan than he is outside of Bhutan. And there's a reason why I met with him in Tennessee and not in Thimphu. And because last time I was in Thimphu, I think it was 1980, and it was like, I was living a child's life, and even then it wasn't forgiven. But we did exit through Tibet, and we went to some of the pilgrimage sites. He tried to introduce me to the, Pema Chöngé's Padmasambhava shrine with in the cave where he did the cave retreat. And I was, I'd eaten a lot of children, not my own, and a very childlike person. But then that was the time when I met my father in the south of France, and then he announced us married as Laman Yoshul, and nonsense and worthless, what he called us. And because Yoshul doesn't mean anything. And then I spent Ramadan with him in Riyadh, and then we came back. I somehow was back in the U.S., I don't know how. But that was right after I'd moved to Valpo. And that was a really rough life. It's not, you learn joyful effort is not something that the external world gives you. You find it in yourself. Now, you can't, it's not arbitrary. You can't do it in every circumstance. When you're thinking about, that saying that, you could become impervious to someone rubbing sandalwood on one side and hitting you with a hatchet on the other side, you're supposed to avoid being hit with a hatchet, okay? You're not supposed to just sit there being chopped to bits. But you need to understand when somebody's trying to butter you up, they might as well be hitting you with a hatchet. These kinds of mistakes that people make are what I'm dealing with day in and day out from some of the professionals. I suspect one of them has become a maintenance man in my apartment complex. So that brings us back to the idea of hierarchy. Who is in charge? Why are they in charge? Why do I respect you? Choosing the topics, pick your battles. Choosing the topics to have an issue with, choosing the person you're having an issue with. Did you choose, or were you sicked on me by somebody? And if you were sicked on me by somebody, I don't believe it was the king. So when you become mature enough to be aware of who and what is guiding your actions, your interaction with somebody like a king would be different. I'm dealing with a king, I'm dealing with a sovereign emir, I'm dealing with an emir who's not sovereign but might as well be running the country, as well as his father. And a lot of different people, and he's not actually his father. So I've got to deal with the fact that these people are performing these roles that aren't really real. When I have to survive playing the Rumpelstiltskin game, what are my channels telling me these people are? I have to read their mind to know what they're up to. I mean, Oh, you should have read my mind to know about that. I've had to do that from an early age. So when I have to deal with all of these things, and then I run into somebody who's doing a retreat and an entire nation is in control of a nation, and this is the image he's presenting. And he had to decide, do I stabilize her in this role? What role would she be in? What would I pick up, lift down, disrupt? He decided to stabilize me outside of the country so that I could continue to participate with my son, with other people, with some of the foster kids that I've had, and have a context when any of the other relatives show up. And that context is public housing, living on welfare, because not one of my relatives stepped up to complete my role as the wife of King Fod's, when he died. Nobody taking my side on that kind of funding. You know what they always say? We don't want to see a woman with that kind of resource. So when they come to me saying I got to do anything for them or they want any money, I remember that. I also have skills that I could have used to earn money, and everyone decided for their various reasons that they didn't want me doing that. I don't believe that at any time in the future they're ever going to reconsider that for any reason either. So that is all about hierarchy, right? It's about whether you're royal or not, whether you're ordained or not, what your gender is, what your status is in the royal family, what country you're in. Are you in your own country or someone else's? Is the country you in a kingdom or not? Is the country you're in effect or not? Because around here we have a lot of this stuff that, well, that's the rule, but that's not what we do. People always showing up to get that government money that they say the government said they wanted us to fix the roofs and take out the lateral lines, but we don't think that needs to happen. So now we got huge humidity in our houses and the stink of the sewer all the time. But that's, there's palaces that smell like the sewer. I've got 4 rooms. I've got my own bathroom. I've got a lot of stuff. I've got a magical bank account that refills all the time. So these are things that you take out of perspective and stuff like that. But when you're going with the hierarchy as you are a taker, okay, Mr. Monk, I don't see you in your outfit right now. You know that monks are allowed to have a specific set of things. If you're going to say that you're a monk, be a monk. And it's not just a la carte, I'll be a monk here and here and here, but I'm not going to be a monk here and here and here. Okay, nobody is 100% a monk. Okay, we're in a degenerate age. Nobody does it 100%. But let's aim for like 51. So in terms of the ideas that gender dominance and stuff like that even that has had territorial issues, and while nobody is going to prevent you from saying that as a man I'm going to assert my will over this situation, that's because that's a really good way to reduce competition when you're being that kind of stupid.